you? I beat you to it. You were going to speak then. No,
I wasn't about to speak. I was going to continue the umpas from the theme music, which I love.
You do love that theme music, don't you?
What I would like is just like when we finally get our TV show, which is obviously coming. I mean, we're signing contracts this week, I believe. It's just like a morph animatronic kind of claymation, a whole army of small versions of you and me just walking in time to that pa pa pa. I think that'd be amazing.
I'd be scared to be inside your head.
It's a bit like, if you just imagine my head as a carousel with a slightly out of tune version of the Magic Roundabout theme song going on the whole time, smelling of candy floss and cream soda. That's pretty much my head.
You know, I'm so in need of a holiday that when you said carousel, what do you think I thought of?
Did you think of the musical?
No,
all right.
You know me, I normally would, but I just saw a solitary suitcase just going round on a carousel. That's what I saw. Hey, I've got some questions. Are you ready?
Let's go straight in. No banter today. We're straight in with the hard news.
No time for banter. I've got so much I need to tell you and talk to you about and ask you about. Oh, well, I'm going to go straight in with a quick fire question.
Okay.
Salt and vinegar or cheese and onion?
You picked the two hardest flavors for me.
I did say it was quick fire, but I mean,
okay, all right, quick fire. If I could only ever have one again, salt and vinegar.
Oh,
yeah. Okay, and yours? Salt and vinegar, cheese and onion.
Cheese and onion, yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay, that's all right. Well, we can just share. That's the kind of people we are. We just get together with the one thing we're allowed, and we'll share. What was your nickname as a child?
We could get a variety bag of crisps, and we could both have the ready salted, but the cheese and onion and the salt and vinegar could go different ways.
And the beef and onion can just be lying in the corner crying on the step on its own. I mean, who has beef and onion in real life? Who has cheese and onion? You know? Anyway, right. Well, what was your nickname as a child?
Oh, it depends. The polite one or the
one that we can broadcast. So the impolite one.
Sawdust.
Sawdust.
Yeah.
That's really good.
I like to rework it and say that people call me Stardust, but they didn't.
It was Sawdust, was it?
Sawdust. Yeah.
For mine, so I had one that came about when I was 14, and through my drumming activities, there were two Gregs on the same drum line, and because I was a new boy, they nicknamed me Johnny One Beat, and that came when I was 14, and everyone called me Johnny, so much so that they used to phone my house and go, "Hi, is Johnny there?" And my mum used to get really upset. "There's no Johnny that lives here," and my friends would go, "Oh, I'm sorry, Mrs. Davis. Is John there, please?" Still not knowing that my name was Greg. But at middle school, my mum used to have this woman who came round her house to cut our hair as kids. She used to do my mum's hair, and then as a favour, used to cut our hair. And she would let us pick the length of hair, but she would use the scissors, and she'd go, "Oh, would you like a 1, a 2, a 3, or a 4?" Because we had like spiky hair. And we would go, "Oh, we'll have a number 4, please." And that, we didn't know that was a system that she just had in place for dealing with little kids and chopping with scissors. So the first time I went to grown-up barbers, I sat down, Lee's Barbers in Crawley.
I can see what's going to happen
still there, yeah. And Mimo, the Italian barber, he said, "What do you want?" And I said, "Oh, can I have a number 4, please?" And he put the guard on with the clippers and just went straight over my head. So as a result, I was known as Gregory Eggery.
That's quite a posh southern name, isn't it? I prefer Johnny One Beat.
Well, either that or Greg the Egg, which is what it was shortened to.
Yeah, I like that one. But I tell you what, I know I wasn't going to do North-South divide, but middle school. What's a middle school?
Now you see. So what would you call it?
school, like comprehensive school or primary school?
So primary, so they've all gone back to primary now, but for a while
Never changed.
There were first schools and middle schools down here. So, but my kids went to a primary school which went right from the age of 5 up to the age of 11, whereas I went to 2 separate schools, a first school and a middle school.
So, what age would you go to a middle school?
So, first school was 5 to 8. So it's
just for 3 hours.
It's 3 years, and then from 8 to 12, 8 to 11, and then we went up to secondary school, high school.
Right. So when I was a little nipper, we had an infant school, a primary school, and a secondary school. I wonder if it's a similar thing. It's funny, isn't it? To say we only live about 5 hours from each other, it's amazing the difference.
It's a totally different world. Now, here's a fact for you. Not one of my schools is still standing.
Did you go to Welton John High?
No, because they are still standing.
Hey, I've got a second question.
Go on.
Would you rather have pigeon's feet or pigeon's wings that can't fly?
I'd rather have pigeon's feet.
Okay.
Because you've at least got a chance of hiding them and leading a normal life. With pigeon's wings, you've got none of the advantages of having wings and all the disadvantages of not having hands and fingers to go about your daily business. I mean, you could give someone a massive thwack, though, couldn't you, with a pigeon's wing?
Glad you thought about how you were going to say that.
You could properly thwack someone.
Yeah.
And what about you, young Russell?
I think I'd have pigeon's feet as well. I'd have to bind them.
I mean, we got a bit of rain going on here. I wonder if the wings could act as some kind of cover. That might be nice. Every now and then.
Nice. Yeah. Or if you're doing like party songs and they have to have actions.
Well, you could do the Y, the M pretty well. The C you could get away with. No, the M would be a problem, I think, with the wings. So you could do the Y, the C, and the A, but maybe not the M with pigeon wings. All right. My next question. If you could bring back from childhood, and I'm not talking about lump of coal, if you could bring back a sweet...
It's not Christmas.
It's not Christmas. A sweet, a chocolate bar, or a drink which is no longer in the world, what would you bring back?
So hang on, a drink? No.
Yeah.
A drink, a chocolate bar,
or like a sweet, like a chewy bar or some sweets.
Well, I think I'd have to go with Spangles.
I remember Spangles.
Yeah, I remember.
Because they did an ice lolly as well in a Spangle.
What?
They did. They did a Spangle ice lolly. Now mine might be a bit controversial.
If it was crisps, though, if it was crisps, I'd bring back a canny bag of Tudor. We used to have Tudor crisps up here.
Don't know what they are.
Beautiful.
So I was torn between Quattro. Do you remember Quattro?
White can
with the kind of quartile circle on it. Yeah. So I was torn between a Quattro, but I've gone controversial because you can still get these, but they're a totally different recipe. I would go with the original recipe of the Wham bar.
It's a different recipe.
It's a different recipe. The Wham bars now are kind of soft with little sugar crystals. They used to be basically plastic. They were so hard they'd rip your fillings out, but they were amazing. They were very good.
I did lose several fillings to a Wham bar, I must admit.
You gotta love a Wham bar.
Yeah. So my final question for you is also a childhood related question.
They always have to be.
What was your favorite TV show as a kid?
Oh, so I used to like the Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles because they weren't allowed to be called ninjas in this country. That was I think that was probably my go-to because I had the game on the NES as well, the Nintendo Entertainment System.
The NES.
The NES. Yeah. Hello, I've got a NES.
Yeah. I must be a bit older than you then, because I remember that when my sister was little.
We're not too far apart, I don't believe. So what was yours? What was your?
The banana splits.
What, with the little la 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 la.
La 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 la. Yeah.
Slightly psychedelic trip going on there with the banana splits.
I liked the banana split, but my favourite kids show wasn't when I was a kid.
What was it?
Biker, Grove. I'm blind, Dick. I'm blind. Yeah, I used to love Biker Grove.
It's I enjoyed Spuggy. Spuggy was my favourite character just because she does the laugh at the end of the theme song.
Yeah.
It's very good. Right, final question for you, young Russell.
Yes, Gregory. Sorry, yes, Greg the egg.
What's your favourite animal?
It's a big question, that.
It is a big question. I've written down like 4 options for me, and I'm really torn between them.
It's like favorite animal as in an animal, or like as a pet, or
no. Just if you had to pick one animal to wear the crown of Russ's favorite, what would it be?
I've always been fascinated. Whenever I've been to a zoo over the years, I've always been fascinated by the chimpanzees. I love a chimpanzee.
No, chimpanzees are good.
They're very good at throwing their own feces at people.
If you're gonna sling crap around, you cannot do finer than a chimpanzee.
And I like it because they're really clever and they know they're entertaining you. They know that.
Well, that's slightly similar to the reason why I like my one. Because mine is the dolphin.
Do they throw their feces about?
They don't. They throw other people's feces that they find in the ocean back at you. They're like, have it back. I don't want it anymore.
Is it true though that dolphins are like super, super clever?
They're meant to be. Yeah, they've got. They have defined language. They have names for one another. They recognize each other by whistles and clicks. They call to one another. But I've been really lucky to see. I've seen a pod of dolphins in the wild. I've also seen a very playful individual dolphin in the wild, and they're just lovely, beautiful creatures. So,
you see, this is the difference between the north and the south. You've seen dolphins in the wild. I've seen seagulls nick chips.
Yeah, but don't you have dolphins in like one of your bays up there or something? Like Whitney Bay, hasn't that got a dolphin or something?
We get seals at Seal Sands.
Well, you see, I haven't got a seal. There's no seal in the Thames or Thames, as the rest of the world incorrectly pronounces it.
There isn't.
The Thames.
Right?
Love it. Well, they were good.
They were good. I think the questions are getting better.
They are getting better. I think it's because we actually put some thought and preparation into it.
Oh, Greg, can I tell you what happened to us at the weekend?
I see. Some people think that we just talk. We just come on here. We haven't spoken week by week. There's been listeners and viewers. There's been a run up to this. I've been on edge of my seat for this. Tell me what happened over the weekend.
Well, Jill was doing like a triathlon down at Nottingham, which is in like the Midlands. It's neither north nor south.
Definitely north.
Yeah, it's south to us, so no. And when we went down there, we stayed in this hotel, and because she was doing the competition, we went for a meal before, and so we went to the local. Hang on, I've got to because copyright restaurant.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Just near the hotel. Just near the hotel, and I had he had a lovely surf and turf.
Lovely like a surf and turf.
Lovely. I even got a little cheeky pot of peppercorn sauce to dip me steak in. That was nice. And went there. So we're full and walking back, and we went, oh, there's a garage over there. Let's go and get some chocolate because I'm not paying prices for desserts in there when we get chocolate. But it was service station prices for chocolate, so we might as well have had a dessert. And I went in and I picked up a bag of Maltesers for Jill, and I picked up a bag of I tell you what, salted caramel M&Ms. What's that all about? They were amazing. It was like if there were Revels, I'd want everyone to be them, so I might as well just buy the M&Ms. They were nice. And as I was paying at the counter, the guy working behind the counter just randomly said to me, "Here, do you want a tuna sandwich for 44 pence?"
What? So hang on, there's been no previous breaded product purchase.
No,
it's just like he looks like a guy that likes a bit of tuna.
Well, I don't understand it. His mate was sat there, and it was almost like he was selling something under the counter. Do you want to wear? He looked around at his mate and he went, "Do you want to buy a tuna sandwich for 44p?"
Please tell me he was wearing a rain mac and he opened up his coat to display day-old sandwiches.
No, I politely explained to him I just had a lovely surf and turf. He went, "Oh yeah, do a lovely surf and turf."
I do.
And he said, "Could have a tuna sandwich to finish it off." I went, "I've got the M&Ms to finish it off," and he went, "It's your loss," as if it's your loss.
It's your... He actually said, "It's your loss."
It's your loss. So I thought, well, somebody's going to have that sandwich and it'll be their gain. So, yeah.
You can imagine that, how old was this guy?
Oh, at least 57.
Right. So he's probably taking home another tuna sandwich to his grandkids. "Granddad, have you bought us any salted caramel M&Ms?" No, it's tuna sandwich again. That's what they get. And what he was going to do with your 44p was split a bag of M&Ms between them.
Not the price of the M&Ms, he wasn't.
Well, maybe it was a week's worth of tuna purchases.
As I was leaving, the doors slid open, and comedy is all about timing. As I walked out, Jill's just stood outside because there's only one person in at a time. Yeah.
Yeah.
As I walked out, he shouted, "It's got sweet corn in it!" So Jill said, "What was all that about?" I said, "Oh, he's trying to peddle a blinking tuna sandwich, isn't he?"
He actually shouted after you, "It has sweet corn in it."
"It's got sweet corn in it!"
That is amazing.
He was a bit angry, a bit like, as if like, it wasn't like he's thought, "Oh, I forgot to mention it's got sweet corn in it. That might sway it for him." It was like, "You're missing out because it's got sweet corn in it." Well, why didn't you say for 44p, tuna and sweet corn? I mean, I'll be honest with you. I like a tuna steak, but I'm not a big fan of tuna in sandwiches.
Well, I wonder if I mean, that might have been his first day. You've never been there before. The guy sat next to him could have been his manager. And it was a bit like Wolf of Wall Street, "Sell me this pen." And it was like, right, you can have the job if you sell this tuna sandwich. There's no price restriction, but if you sell it too cheap, they're going to know. And you were his last hope. Your last hope. And as you were walking away, you thought, damn it, maybe he thinks it's cucumber. Some people have cucumber allergies. And it was like, "It's got sweet corn in it." And that was his last ditch effort to sell.
You can imagine, though, I've gone in and he's turned to his mate and he's gone, like, it's like late night. It's like 9:30 at night, right? And they're getting ready to, like, move over to Windows service or whatever they do. And he just turns to his mate and he goes, whoa, what's this? Lionel Messi's just come in. I'm going to sell him a tuna sandwich. "You can't sell a tuna sandwich, Lionel Messi. Have you seen the price of it? It's 44p." And So anyway, we got back to the hotel room. And have you ever been away to a hotel room and you've gone, "Oh, we've got the toothpaste"?
Yeah, quite often.
So we got back to the hotel room, and I'm just getting the picture here because, and I said, "What am I going to do?" And Jill said, "Go down to reception, ask them if they've got any toothpaste," because there's a thing on the wall saying, "Forgot something."
Yep.
Forgot something. So I went, yeah.
You were in a
hotel, motel.
So you've gone premium. You want Jill to be well rested for her triathlon. Yeah, I like it.
Beauty of hotels at the moment in the UK is very cheap.
Yeah, nothing's premium. Yep.
There's no premium, and to be honest, it wasn't that premium. But it was a nice little trip away. We got there the night before, and before we went out for our meal, I went downstairs and I got a pint of IPN, sat watching the football. The Euros are on, and
are on.
I felt like a king. Anyway, I went down to reception with my mask on. And I went, "Toothpaste, please." And the guy went, "What can you get a mask on? You got a mask on. There's a screen in front of us." So I went, toothpaste. And he went, whoa, put your screen on, you're dangerous. I went, oh, yeah. So anyway, give me some toothpaste. I got back up to the room and Jill is stood at that sign I've just shown you on the camera there. And I'm going to read you what the sign says. If you have forgotten any of the following items, conditioner, shaving cream, disposable razor, comb, cotton wool or cotton cosmetic pads, toothbrush, toothpaste, body lotion, saw kit, nail file, face cloth, or female sanitary items, then please contact reception. We'll be happy to give you a replacement with our compliments. So I've got bags full of them. I just went down and said, look, it says on here, you give me all of those things complimentary. So I think it's offstayed our stay anyway.
I think if you can read out that list again to the tune of Rapper's Delight, that would be amazing.
What, as in I've been spending all my life?
No, not Gangster's Paradise, Rapper's Delight.
Okay. I say conditioner, shaving cream, disposable razor comb, cotton wool. I can't do it. I can't do it. Because the syllables and the words don't trip off my tongue, and I'm not very good at rapping. I can't even rap presents, mate, to be honest.
Well, you gave it a go. I reckon one of our listeners will be able to record that.
The hip, the hop, the hip. It's a brilliant song, though, isn't it?
I reckon it's either going to be the Jacobs or the Ellams, or maybe the Graeber. Oh, can you imagine that? Can you imagine an Australian
accent? Hey, well, that was our weekend, though. It was a good weekend.
It sounds a great weekend. Yeah. Did you? So you were in the Ham. You went to the Ham.
Yeah.
So often confused with the Birmingham.
Yeah.
But this is the Nottingham.
Yeah.
Did you go to the disputed oldest pub in the UK?
No, but we drove past Hooters.
Hooters?
Hooters. It's the only Hooters in the UK, allegedly. That shocked you?
Yeah, I'm absolutely bemused. For many years I thought Hooters was like a seedy kind of strip bar, and then it's a family restaurant in America.
Family restaurant, sports bar, very good sports bar. Yeah, it's when they had a go with Hooters in the 80s, and Nottingham was really, really successful. And I think with it being a sports bar, it's a really big unit, and it's right near both football teams' grounds, Notts County and Nottingham Forest, and is it Trent Bridge, the cricket?
Yep.
It's right near all of those. So whenever there's sports on, it's rammed, absolutely rammed. Yeah. Didn't go in because we didn't have time. I was too busy arguing about sandwiches.
Yeah, obviously.
In a petrol station with a bloke.
So I need to know if there are any other Hooters in the UK, because there must. I mean, there are many places where there are two major rival teams and other sporting venues around. So
like London,
like Liverpool, Manchester, loads.
Birmingham.
Yeah, I suppose you can have Birmingham.
Well, Aston Villa and Birmingham are there.
I know, and Edgbaston in terms of cricket and to tennis.
To tennis in Birmingham.
In Edgbaston, yeah, it's where they hold the Lawn Tennis Association hold the ladies' competition.
Oh,
it was the first tournament that Marina Sharapova won in the UK.
Should never have moved lawn tennis out of Hampton Court. It was a big mistake.
Yeah, but then where would we play croquet?
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, I never thought of that.
Yeah, you need to think these things through.
Anyway, I've got some news items.
Tell me about your news items.
Put my glasses on. It's news time.
I love those glasses.
Do you want to know the secret of these glasses? They're not a prescription. They're for dulling, like when you're on Zoom all day and on a screen, for doing the screen.
They're screen glare glasses.
Screen glare glasses.
And the irony is, I can see the reflection of your screen in them.
The most ridiculous glare that you'll get. And the scary thing is, that's not a screen, that's the window to my soul.
Oh, that is the window, isn't it? Oh, wow.
Look at that. Live in the northeast, but it looks like the countryside.
It does, doesn't it? It's amazing.
Yeah.
Nice. Tell me your news items.
3 news items today.
1, 2, 3.
Morrison shares surge 30% as it rejects a turnover bid.
Morrison's or Morrissey?
Sunshine bicycle. He's no, it's not Morrissey. He's he wouldn't surge with an offer of a takeover. Well, who would the takeover be from? James?
Oi,
sit down.
Sit down. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, Morrison's, the Bradford-based supermarket chain, has been courted by a private equity partner. I think they're called CPD Equity, and they're acting on behalf of an investor. Now, bearing in mind, it's a public limited company, so they've reached the purchasing of shares where they have to declare, it triggers the declaration laws where they have to declare a takeover attempt on the business. And that's pushed the share price up 30%. Now, in a world where digital companies are ruling, a traditional retailer that has a lovely veg section with steam coming out over it.
Yeah, they're very clever because they've done the whole Market Street thing, haven't they? So you still feel like it's kind of local and intimate. They are clever.
They are clever. And yeah, so it's pushed their share price up 30%, but they've rejected the turnover. My question is, how long can they reject that turnover?
How long can they hold out? And I like to think that it was Maureen from the fish counter, a disgruntled employee who was sacked, and she has just made it her life to make small backroom bids and influence people until she's got a conglomerate of companies and investors to take back Morrison's.
Maureen's crowdfunding.
Yeah.
I tell you what, though, I like Morrison's. I think it's my favourite supermarket because it has a dedicated pie aisle.
Well, and anyone that can do a foot-long sausage roll alternating with a foot-long chocolate eclair for £1, week on, week off, week on, week off. They are basically heroes of the modern era, aren't they?
How can you do a foot-long sausage roll for £1? That is incredible.
I have a more pertinent question. Is it only kind of capsule-shaped products that they can do foot-long and for £1? I mean, could they have a foot diameter pie for £1? Or is it?
I'm getting the producers give me an answer for that one. No, it's just items that shape. Yeah,
too much. Because you can't have your pie and eat it, can you? That's the problem.
No, but he's one for you. This will play with your head. Foot-long sausage roll. If you were given that, you'd go, "Wow, that's incredible!" A foot-long sausage roll. If you were given a foot-long baguette, you'd be quite disappointed.
Yeah, you would do.
Yeah,
but a baguette is just carbs. There's no meat in it, is there? The sausage roll has the value because it has protein in it as well.
Could poke the centre out and pour some meat into it.
Yeah, but then you're going to increase the cost. Wouldn't be £1, would it?
I'm thought it through.
Just haven't. Okay, right. So
and depending on the quality of the meat, that would be awful.
That's really good.
Thank you.
I'm not even going to come back. Congratulations. That was a very good dad joke. Very, very good dad joke. What?
I've got another item.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know where I'm rooting for the Morrisons. Do I want them taken over? Because it could be someone really fun. It could be Mr. Blobby. Mr. Blobby taken up. It could be amazing. Like when Bruce Wayne took back Wayne Enterprises. It could be amazing. So, I don't know where I stand on that one, Russ. Okay, tell me the next one. Distract me.
I will only accept that then if by the same factor they put Morgan Freeman in charge.
Oh, if Morgan Freeman did all of the store announcements, can we have
even
your
better
trained staff to the checkout?
Even better. You put like a foot-long sausage roll in your trolley, and Morgan Freeman says, "It was at this point that Greg realized that he had obesity."
If he did the self-service ones. Unexpected item in the bagging area.
Yeah.
Just be great. Okay, right. Next one. Otherwise we're going down a rabbit hole there.
So the next one is flexible train travel options. Now, I need to explain this one because it's actually quite good news. The pattern of work's changed. So people work differently now. And people that would travel into London to work Monday to Friday, 9 till 5 on the commuter line, and now potentially spending 2 or 3 days at home.
Yep.
So the train passes that they used to get that were for 5 days are no longer great value. So the train companies have adapted and have changed the product so that they can do it for 2 days, 3 days, still get the same discounts and flexibility in an attempt to woo people back to public transport.
Woo. Ooh.
Yeah.
Right. So first thing, I thought all trains are flexible. Otherwise, how do they go around corners?
Couplings, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Right. Second, this is a wider issue here because I think the whole demographic of our cities is going to change. We're going to end up with people moving back into the city centres where they convert office blocks into domestic domiciliaries. So we're going to have new communities because people can work from home and there's no need to travel in. So we're going to have vibrant communities, more bars, more restaurants, more leisure, new need for education.
Yeah.
20 years, the cities are going to look totally different. So the train companies are doing this out of desperation, having consistently raised prices for 20 years in a row and delivering poor service. I hope for the first time ever, well, for a long time, the customer is in control of this and they will be able to dictate terms, because it would be lovely to see a bit of a change in relationship, because in the past, it's just been the train companies going, what else are you going to do? You're going to drive in? You're going to spend hours in the car? No, you're not. So you're going to have to pay our price rise. So I quite like that there's an uprising of commuter here taking control.
This party political broadcast was brought to you by the Monkey Batman Party.
It's good. That was almost like a serious answer.
It's a bit too serious, my liking.
Yeah, I know. Sorry.
But I tell you what, though, we are definitely tipping that 10% plus business content today.
Well, give me the third one and let's knock it out of the park.
I love this one.
Go on.
And the reason I love this one is I spent 5 years here, from student to adult, man and boy. 5 years at McDonald's have announced they're going to take on 20,000 more workers as they open initial 50 new sites in the next year. Now, I've got a question about this, Greg, and that is 20,000 workers distributed across 50 sites. That's a lot of people in a McDonald's unit, isn't it? Particularly with social distancing.
So what they're saying is that every new site of McDonald's to do the 7 days a week. And what do they open? They're like, 6 a.m. to midnight?
24 hours, a lot of them.
Oh, okay. So they need 400 staff to cover, let's say it was 3 8-hour shifts. I suppose that'd be about right.
Well, I've got an issue with the news teams, and I'm going to pick it up with Peston, and I'm going to get my lads Peston.
Just get your coffee first. Get your coffee first.
Oh.
Yeah, go on.
They're still messing up that percolator. Because it's a bit sensationalist. It grabs you in, it pulls you in.
I'm pulled.
Yeah, but in the small print it says, and then 100 more sites in the next 2 years. So it's actually it's like 150 sites.
Right. Okay. So that would be, what would that work out? This is probably much more plausible. 133. Yeah. Okay. That sounds more realistic.
And when you add in the head office functions that we needed to support an extra 20,000 workers.
And the distribution. So the logistics, because they do all their own logistics as well. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. There is a big issue. And it's not the big issue. They're finding it really hard to recruit people. So, and as is the whole of the hospitality industry at the moment, because a lot of it used to rely on people coming on like tourist visas. So you used to get a lot of South Africans, Australians, Kiwis coming over, a load of people from all over the world. And of course, none of that's happening right now.
No.
So I reckon that man who sits down the pub and burps silently and just puffs out his lip like that.
Every now and again, though, he just go.
Yeah, he does. A little bit of sound. He should be employed.
Do you want him making your burger?
No. But serving you at the till, it'd be brilliant. He'd be like, I don't know if you've seen Zootopia, but he'd be like the sloth at the DMV.
He'd be brilliant. He'd be like, would you like fries with that?
Yep. So,
but then he'd have to give it a.
I've glossed over a major point of this story, and it's one that I think you and I, if we're going to continue to have a relationship going forward, however sexually charged it is, we need to get out of the way.
Oh, it's charged.
My first job was at Burger King.
I can't stop shaking yet. It's an involuntary reaction.
You know what I think?
Well,
I think there's enough room for all of us.
I tell you what though, my favorite Burger King thing was something they adopted from a lot of the wimpy restaurants they absorbed in the UK.
Oh, go on.
Spicy bean burger.
Spicy bean burger was immense. So I used to. So I'm sure you did it unofficially because you worked there. You could make your own concoctions of burgers. So you could probably do a Big Mac, but using quarter-pound patties. So it was a half-pound Big Mac, and you did as well. Look at your little face.
Well, the thing is, I've got to be careful because I used to work for a franchise, and I'm still friends with the guy that runs the franchise for the.
Okay,
franchise
so you didn't do that, but you definitely did do that.
Yeah, it's yeah. No comment, Gary Warrior. If you want,
lovely
comment.
So with Burger King, they used to do a mushroom double Swiss. So it was like mushrooms, Swiss cheese. You put that on top of a spicy bean burger. Oh, it was outstanding. And the other golden nugget, literally, was putting a chicken royale through the flame griller. Instead of frying it, put it through the flame grill. So you had a flame grilled chicken royale. Oh, it was beautiful.
Would it cook the chicken through, or was the chicken already cooked?
And chicken was already cooked. It was already in the steamer. You just ran it through the flame griller.
I'm going to be controversial because I am a McDonald's person, right? I do like a McDonald's. I love a Big Mac, funnily enough. Although it doesn't love my beard.
A bit saucy. For a while, they started doing the sauce on the side. This was pre-pandemic. You could order a side order of Big Mac sauce. So if you wanted to, you could put the secret sauce in a quarter pounder yourself. I know, right?
Well, if I'm going to a service station,
yep,
I prefer a Big Mac. See, I can't. It's programmed in. I prefer a Burger King.
So the only thing that annoys me about Burger Kings at a service station, when you go to a McDonald's, it's the same price as on the high street. Yeah, whereas when you go to a Burger King, it's like, can we take a second charge over your property, please? It's just stupidly expensive at a service station.
£15 for a Whopper?
I know, and they're like, well, it's because we're on a motorway. It's more difficult to get things here. I'm like, you're on a motorway. It's the easiest to get to. There's a road coming right to you. So yeah.
That's a good point. Now I've gone off them. Yeah. So I reckon one of these episodes we should do who would win the fight, McDonald's or Burger King.
I think we probably should, but not today because I bet you've got a great one lined up.
Wait until we get to the fight. Business film recommendation, and I'm not going to go with the obvious business film recommendation. The Founder, the Ray Kroc story. What an incredible film that is.
Oh, is that the Michael Keaton one?
I'm Batman.
I'm Burger Man.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that one. I'm going to have a look at it because he wasn't the founder, was he? It's his story of trying to buy it off the two brothers that found it.
Yeah. It's very, very, very interesting film. But it is one of those where whenever I see him in anything, I do want him to just look at the camera and go, I'm Batman.
Yeah, just one in every movie. That should be contractually.
in the same way that Sean Bean doesn't change his accent, and neither did Sean Connery. You know, in the in the film Highlander, he's like, my name is Juan Ramirez III. It's like the Scottish accent with a samurai sword and a Spanish outfit.
What's funny is Christopher Lambert, who's French, called Belgian, sorry, called Sean Connery a Spanish peacock in a really bad kind of Scottish Flemish hybrid accent, and Sean Connery doesn't even try. He's just
he was French Belgian, so that's why I'm guessing that you think. I mean, I once thought that Mel Gibson was Australian.
Once he was,
yeah, because he was in Mad Max, was one of his first films, wasn't it? And
it was,
yeah,
it was.
But yeah, that's a film recommendation if anybody hasn't seen it. It's one of the only films I've only ever been to see 2 films in a cinema on my own, and that's one of them.
Was the other one Moneyball?
No, I watch that every single month on the Sky Planner or on one of the. I was going to say I've got loads of DVD copies if you want them. No, the other one was Natural Born Killers when it came out in the early 90s or mid 90s.
That's quite controversial, that one, wasn't it? Yeah.
It was controversial. Well, that was when Jill was at university and she was working one night in the Union Bar or something, and I went to the cinema. And the Ray Kroc one was, I was driving down to our national office.
Yeah.
And I thought, what am I going to do tonight? And I drove past the cinema, which is strange because I went down the A1, but I drove past the cinema.
There was that a sex shop?
Yeah. Well, it was like, have you got any films? Yeah, we're showing this. I'll come in. No, and I just drove past this cinema and I thought, you know what? That's on at the moment. I want to watch it. And I thought I was very brave going on my own and sitting.
It's that old Lee Evans sketch, isn't it? Where he goes, just the one ticket, please. You do just feel a little bit creepy. Yeah. And it's almost like you have to walk in and go, I'm here on work. I'm here on work. My family is back at home with all of my friends that I would normally come to the cinema with.
Well, it was easy because it was down south, so I could go. I really northerned up my accent. I went, "Are you all right? Like, can I have a ticket for that film there?" Like,
and everyone had just ignored you.
Clearly Danish.
Yeah, I mean, you probably got away with that when you went to see The Founder. However, when I went to see Dora the Explorer on my own, I got some very different looks.
Yeah, backpack. People shouting at you. Vamos, salida, and nada. Yeah. So
next,
business names, mate. Are you going to do the theme tune or should I?
You do the theme tune. Go on.
Business names, they sound real funny. If you get a good one, it can make you money.
See, I like that. See, you've got the jovial northern scamp thing going on. I was a bit too Mariah Carey.
Step in time, aren't you?
Yeah, I was a bit too auto-tune about it. Right. I was following a van onto motorway.
Onto motorway?
Air conditioning.
Which motorway were you on?
The only one, the M25.
Oh, right, yeah.
The never-ending motorway.
Never-ending motorway.
The only way you keep track of how many times you've been around it is by how many times you've paid £2.50.
Somebody once said to me, it's like count the junctions on the M25. I was like, which way though? It's like, just drive to junction 25. I went all the way around to junction 25.
So I was following van, air conditioning company. This isn't a play on words. This is just, this is just ballsy. Stiff nipples.
It was called what?
Stiff nipples.
As in stiff nipples?
As in stiff nipples, as in
air conditioning and refrigeration.
Very good. But their strap line, they thought that's not good enough. We don't want to be on the edge. We're going to go for a strap line licensed to chill.
Oh, well, that's good, isn't it?
I really like it. And then I can tell
by the look of satisfaction on your face.
I know, because I can't get none normally. Hey. And then on my way down to Brighton, as you come into Brighton, as you come off the bottom of the A23, you go past a roundabout and there's like football fields and a beef eater.
Do
People
a
tend
lovely
to
surf and
park
turf. Lovely surf and turf.
only with peppercorn sauce on the side, though. However,
Nice.
People tend to park their kind of vehicles there as a bit of advertising.
Got you. Yeah.
So you had like a plastering company, not a particularly good name. There was like somewhere advertising a restaurant, and then there was a pickup truck advertising a rubbish removal company.
Right.
You're dumped.
You're dumped. Oh, that's good, isn't it?
I love it. I was so impressed.
Oh, that's brilliant. I've got a couple.
Go on.
So one of our members put a post on Facebook the other day.
Yep.
Rack Slabbath barbecue.
Ooh.
Rack Slabbath. Now, the problem with that one is it's a little bit tenuous, but it works enough that you'd use them.
Yeah, they've put a little bit of effort into the first syllable.
Rack.
Rack.
And then they've thought, right, Slabbath sounds a bit like Sabbath. And what even is a Slabbath?
Well, I suppose it's like a slab of meat, isn't it? So, but that might put off your vegetarian, vegan customers. But I like it. I'd use them.
Well, going back to your stiff nipples.
It's quite warm in here now, so I'm all right.
You know, when a name of a company, you think it's clever and you think it's funny, but a lot of the population wouldn't use you because of it. It's not the best name, is it?
No, it's probably not. I mean, I remember seeing a what do I call it? A step pit, step removal company. Yeah. And their strap line was "Your crap is our business," but they used the S word instead of crap. So,
yes, yeah. I think I've yeah. So you've got to be careful with stuff like that.
Close. What's your second one?
So we're driving down I think it was the A1, maybe the M1, or maybe the A1M. I'm not sure.
It's so confusing. Why? Why did the A1 and the M1 mate?
Well, the A1 existed first, and then they created the M1, but then they joined the A1 and the M1, that little bit that joins as the A1M. But then when you're driving down, it says, why don't you come off at the M18 and then join the M1 later on? And it saves you 2 minutes.
That's weird. It's like some weird genetic hybrid cross. It just makes no sense.
Yeah. Go on. We're driving along. It was a haulage company, quite well known. And I've seen these wagons loads and loads of times, but I've never thought of the intricacy of the name. And it is Buffaloed. Buffaloed. Buffaloed.
Quite clever, isn't it?
Very clever.
That's quite clever. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good names.
If you've got any business names that you see out and about, get them on our Facebook page, on their Facebook, and we'll talk about them in the next episode. Well, I've got a big finish with the fight, but I just want to talk about one more thing on the North-South divide, if that's all right. And that is a bit of a victory for the North.
I'll be the judge of that.
Well, it's a clear victory, and that is the Vanarama, like the old Vauxhall Conference, had their playoff at Bristol or Brussels on Sunday, and it was between Torquay, clearly the south, and Hartlepool, clearly the north.
Yeah, because it sounds like someone's gurgling. That's how you can tell if it's
sounds like somebody's gurgling.
Just gurgling. Yeah, there's a lot of town names up by you that sound like bodily function noises.
What, like loo?
I don't know. Is there a loo?
In Dorset or somewhere there isn't there?
I don't know. We've got Badger's Mount down by here.
They do that though, don't they?
They do. And Pratt's Bottom. Continue.
I always wanted, as a kid, just talking about badgers, I always wanted a badger as a pouffe because they've got a lovely flat back.
They do seem to have a flat back. They must have the most rigid spine of any of the UK mammals.
Yeah. Hey, I tell you what, talking about animals,
So
I know I'm digressing a little bit here.
Okay, go on.
So Jill was racking her bike for transition. So you put it on a rack, you know where it is and everything.
Was it a rack slabbath?
No.
Okay.
No, it wasn't.
Did you put a bike back on Sunday? Because then it would have been a rack Sabbath.
Rack on the Sabbath.
Yeah. Go on.
So she said, right, have a look at what's around us so that we can remember where my bike is. Right. So I did. Had a look. Yeah. Following day, we're walking up and down. We couldn't find a bike anywhere. And she said, you were looking at where it was and what was around us to see where the bike was. I went, well, I did. I looked at the swan on that lake there, but it's not there. Which I thought was quite funny at the time. It dawned on me that I really should have had a look at some of the other static landmarks.
Fixed landmarks, yeah. So I'm assuming this wasn't during race conditions. This was, can you imagine? Bike, I don't know. Let me ask the swan. All right, Tony. Tony, where's the bike?
28 minutes in transition. Apparently though, no, it's you're not allowed to spot for somebody. So you're not allowed to say to them, your bike's there. Part of the race is knowing where your transition spot is.
Oh wow. Okay.
So, sound like an athlete, don't I? Yeah, so they had this playoff game.
Yeah.
Hartlepool scored in the first half.
Yeah.
Game management, they played it brilliantly. It was 1-1. Got to 90 minutes, right? 5 minutes time added on. In the 95th minute, the Torquay goalkeeper, not like a talking goalkeeper, like a Torquay goalkeeper, he's like, rabbit, 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 rabbit. Wasn't that kind of Torquay goalkeeper. It was a Torquay goalkeeper. He came up for a set piece, a corner or a free kick or something. Back post, bang, scored, header.
Oh my God. So they did the classic push everyone up to the front.
1-1.
Yeah.
Goes to extra time.
Yep.
Finishes extra time 1-1. Penalties. First team missed their penalty. Second team missed their penalty. The other team missed their penalty. The second team missed their penalty. The first 4 penalties were missed.
Oh my God. What, missed or saved?
Some went over, some were saved.
Okay.
Nerves of the players, to be honest. And then Hartlepool won 5-4 on penalties. So Hartlepool have now been promoted to League 2.
Wow.
They're back in the Football League, the English Football League. And that's clearly a win for the North.
I'm going to take. I will. I'll accept that. Who was the soccer AM presenter?
Helen Chamberlain was a big Torquay fan.
She's a big Torquay fan, isn't she? Yeah. I bet she was livid.
If you're listening to this, Helen, oh well.
Better luck next year.
No, there's always next year. Yeah. As we look down on the conference, go, oh, you all right down there? Yeah. Anyway, do you want to know who's been having a fight this week?
I do. This is a culmination of my of this whole podcast for me. This is rapidly becoming my favorite item.
Well, I couldn't believe my eyes. I was walking through Nottingham, right?
Right.
Walking through Nottingham, I didn't know they had a Hooters. And as I'm walking through Nottingham, this little guy about 4 foot comes out of this shop with a lion's mane, like Barry Gibb out of the Bee Gees, but it wasn't Barry Gibb.
Was it Peter Stringfellow?
No, he had a beautifully painted on beard.
Was it?
Didn't match any of his other hair colour.
Oh, I don't know. Richard Branson.
No.
Who was it?
Noel Edmonds.
Oh, the Edmonds.
It was Edmonds, and he was bashing into people. He was on, get out of my way, get out of my way. I'm a very important celebrity. And this woman stepped out of the crowd and she said, I won't have you treat people like that. I am Debbie McGee.
No.
It was McGee.
Not the McGee.
So, who do you think won in the fight between Noel Edmonds and Debbie McGee? Because I'll tell you afterwards, but you've got to have a guess first.
So you see, Edmonds is massively underrated. People think he just kind of disappeared, but he had a whole TV production company,
he's reinvented himself loads of times. Yeah,
multi-millionaire. However, the McGee knows how to handle short egomaniacs.
You'd think, wouldn't you?
So I reckon the McGee, even though she started with a bit of aggression, because she's an ex-ballet dancer as well, so she could kick you from every different angle and you wouldn't know where it was coming from.
Yeah.
So I reckon McGee was taking it until Blobby came in and beat the hell out of her.
No, but tell you what, if Blobby was there, there'd be no contest. No Blobby. So I tell you what happened.
Go on.
I'm not going to give you detail because it was messy. I'll tell you it was messy. Not Lionel, but it was messy.
It was a cheap joke. I wasn't going to go there.
Okay.
Do you like a tuna sandwich for 44p?
44p. If it had been 41 pence, I'd have had one.
It's got sweet corn.
It's good sweet corn in it. Yeah. You know, I've got a gun, don't you? So, yeah,
wow.
I went a bit dark then, didn't I? Yeah. I went a bit League of Gentlemen. You know, I've got a gun, don't you? So, no, I'm not doing that one. So, Noel Edmonds was getting proper like boo, boo. He was getting in there. Debbie McGee was doing the high kicks and the pirouettes and doing like the big reveal on a show. And Noel Edmonds won. Do you know why?
I don't know why.
She's not just Debbie McGee, is she? She is the lovely Debbie McGee. She was too nice. Didn't have the killer spirit. So Noel Edmonds.
That surprises me.
He beat up a widow.
See, it doesn't surprise me of the Edmonds because
hang on. Allegedly,
he's had to claw his way back from many a dark situation. He's been there wiping his own tears with congealed slime from the slime machine from Noel Edmonds' house party. So it doesn't surprise me. No. What surprises me with the lovely Debbie McGee is normally when people are nasty, they insist that people call them lovely. So it'd be like, if you had to introduce me as the lovely Greg Davis, everyone would know that as soon as these cameras went off, bit of a bitch.
They wouldn't believe me anyway, though. So.
But they wouldn't, which is why we don't even bother. But so I always assumed, wrongly, obviously, that the lovely Debbie McGee was a bit of an evil, nasty, dirty fighter, allegedly.
She's just too nice.
She was just too nice.
Yeah. And it's at this point that Greg and Russ realized they were getting sued.
And on that note,